I made it past day 30, so I'm really happy about that. I can't wait to collect my 30-day chip from Narcotics Anonymous when they're back on. I know I don't follow the programme completely, as I don't believe in all of its ethics, but for the most part it has been very helpful for me, so that's why I'm going to go and collect a chip and continue with most of the programme. I got quite a lot of stuff done today. It's the 4th of January now and I'm on day 34. I've actually started working on my business. It's coming together and it's going from lots of ideas scattered around the place with no real order to actual plans that I can turn into ways of actually getting it out there and getting my business up and working for myself. So I'm so excited about that. I had a call from the mental health team today and they've said they're going to put me on a coping skills workshop course, which is a 6-week online course. I know it's online and at home, but I think you'll still be able to see the other people on the course. So I've asked her to make sure that the abusive ex who smashed my window and spray painted my house, I've asked the mental health team to make sure that he isn't on the course because he does have a lot of similar conditions to me mental health wise, and I know he's under the same treatment team. It would just be super stressful if he's at that, and I'm in the process of getting a restraining order against him, but hopefully it might give me some tools to manage my complex emotions so that I don't have to reach for self-harm or drugs and other destructive coping mechanisms. I do have to go to court in April, Crown Court, regarding the abusive ex who attacked me at my home and vandalised the place. I'm quite nervous about that, and I know it may seem silly taking somebody to court for smashing a window and spray painting rude words all over your house, but for me it's more the fact that if I don't take him to court, he'll keep doing it and the police won't be able to help me. But also my main worry, which was I didn't want to mess his whole life up, because despite how much he's hurt me, he's a young lad, I didn't want to give him a criminal record if he didn't already have one. If he does get prosecuted and charged with the offences he's been arrested for, then he will have an adult criminal record. But that was before I found out that he already has one for beating up his pregnant ex in front of her 3 young children, which is just disgusting. And there's no need to hit anyone, but especially not somebody who's pregnant, and especially not in front of their children. It's just awful. So I'm not worried about giving him a criminal record now, as he already has one. I am worried about how I'm going to get there because they couldn't put me in the court closest to my house, so I've been asked to go to a court that's quite far away from where I live, so if no one can drive me, I'd have to get the train up by myself, and in my wheelchair that's just really, really hard to do, and it's really stressful for me being around so many people. If I have a meltdown, people try to crowd around to ask me questions and try and help, and that's great, but that just makes it worse because I'm having a panic attack because there's too many people around me, so I'm just super stressed about that. My other option would be to try and walk with my stick, crutches, or rollator, which is like a walker with wheels on it for anyone who doesn't know, but that requires me to lift that in between non-accessible areas, and if I'm walking, I'm really scared of my mental health that I'd get an impulsion to jump in front of a train, because it's been really hard to fight that, and I'm not actively suicidal, but I feel like my mental health just takes over sometimes, and it's like bang, I'll go and do something stupid without even really thinking about it. It's like it's another person doing it, or just one side of me that just takes over, and I don't mean to do it, but hopefully the coping skills workshop for mental health will give me some tools to put in place for if that does happen in future, and hopefully that will help me before court. The other thing I have to do in the next few days is contact the General Medical Council regarding my physical health treatment, because the NHS are now refusing to treat me, or by refusing to refer me to a private doctor in London who's amazing and has an amazing track record, who also works under an NHS hospital. So in the UK, you can pay privately, but it's thousands and thousands of pounds. And if you go from NHS to privately, you still have to pay for the NHS in your taxes, and you can't be insured for any current conditions that you already have. So for me, it would just be pointless, because absolutely anything going wrong in my body could be put down to the conditions I already have, like fibromyalgia or mental health, because medically the doctors say that mental health can cause physical pain, and that mental health causes all of my physical symptoms, which is obviously not true. I've tried to contact the General Medical Council before, because the NHS doctors can legally refer me to this private doctor that I paid £300 for one consultation to see, but his particular surgery is not on their computer database. So because of a computer malfunction or system error, I'm not allowed to get treatment, which is just crazy because I don't have £5,000, which is what it would cost for maybe a couple of tests and a couple of appointments. But I really need to see him because my quality of life is just awful at the moment. I can't go on living like this. It's not fair, and I am entitled to the help. So I'm going to try and fight harder to get seen by him this year. I'm also trying to get a 2-bed for my overnight carer to sleep in, and in council housing in the UK you are allowed an extra bedroom if you have a carer that stays enough nights to require a spare room, because at the moment my male carers sometimes have to sleep in my bed with me because I have one small double bedroom and that's it. I have my lounge downstairs, my living room, but the stairs run through it and the front door runs through it, so I'd say my living room is maybe 8 by 10 feet. That's it. So having a bed out in there is just not an option. And when I am sick, I can't get my wheelchair through the front room if a bed is set up, even a sofa bed that's tiny. So I'm really going to try and fight this year to get a 2-bed and also move so that I'm not around anyone that knows where I live who's hurt me. I have 2 abusive exes and they both know where I live. One of them has attacked the house and the other one's only not attacked the house because he's banned from the area at the moment, so he's not here at all. But I know he'll be back at some point and I don't want him knowing where I live. I don't want to feel scared going to sleep at night with alarms on the windows and doors and a door stopper waiting for people to break in. It's scary. I don't want it anymore. There's a good chance I am going to just end up staying in my 1-bed where my abusers know where I live because the council was so shit with regards to moving people who need it, and if I tried to move based on the emergency situation of my abusive ex knowing where I live, they could make me give up my 1-bed lovely house for a 1-bed flat with no garden, or even a room in a shared house with no garden. That's not even ground floor, so I just don't want to risk it. And with me complaining about my housing needs that aren't being met, please don't mistake that for me being ungrateful, because I'm so grateful that we have this system in the UK and the housing and stuff and reduced rent prices, because I know how lucky I am to have that and I'm so grateful for that. But when you're disabled, it's just so hard living somewhere where my life is in danger because of my abusive exes. It's just not safe for me and I want to move. I'm really hoping that when I set my business up properly, I'm hoping it's only going to be a year or 2 before I'm making enough money to start saving up for a mortgage and buy my own house, because as soon as I'm earning enough to cover my rent and basic bills, I'm going to pay my own way and then save up for a mortgage. And as soon as I've got a few £1,000s, however little enough you need to get the cheapest mortgage on even a 2-bed house, then I'll be moving out and buying my own place, and I'll never have to deal with abusive pricks again who live near me or living opposite the people who sexually abused me when I was a kid. I was sexually abused from 9 to 11 years old quite horrifically by the older brother of a friend who lived near us, and that older brother's friend, and some other girls, lots of other girls that happened to. And one of them, his direct close family, live right opposite me, and the other one who actually did it lives about 30 feet behind me. So I know I'm bitching about council housing that I am grateful for and I shouldn't be complaining, but I don't know anybody else who has to live that close to their rapist, and it's okay. And the council are aware of this and they don't care. They said I can go on the list and I'm about 5 years waiting. No way, I'm not going to wait for that. I'm going to get my arse up into gear and work on this business no matter how sick I am, and get it out there, work my arse off so that I can buy my own house and move away from anywhere that my abusers would be able to afford to live. I think between the 2 families, they probably have around 10 to 15 council properties between them. They're massive families, all on benefits, none of them work. So the chances of me living next to any of them, wherever I move in this borough, is just so high that it's not worth getting a move, because it could be even worse. I could live next to lots of their family members even if it wasn't directly them living near me, and I don't want that. That would be just as bad if not worse. So I'm getting my arse into gear. I'm going to get my business out there. I'm going to fight for this. I hope everyone's doing okay. If you're quitting or thinking about quitting, ask for help. I find it quite a weird period of time once you hit sort of 30 days onwards, because you're still not out of the safe zone. I feel like I'm still in the honeymoon period of feeling like, oh my God, I'm so motivated to quit. I'm amazing. My life's going to be so amazing. But I know I will crash at some point and think, oh fuck, a few things have gone wrong. Life feels shit. I'm depressed again. Fuck, I want to use. So I know that that's going to hit, but I'm also not quite at the early stage of having drugs as all I think about all day or physically craving them. And even though I'm still getting the mental cravings, I find it a very weird part of recovery to be in, where you're still in the honeymoon period, but you're also just passing the, oh, I feel fine, I'm cured stage. And I don't ever want to feel that, because I know that that's when I usually fuck up. That's always when I relapse, when I start to feel safe. And when I did use drugs, before I got depressed and didn't give a shit if it killed me, I would always respect how powerful drugs are, and that this substance is much stronger than your body and can wipe you out in one hit if you do too much. So I always kind of respected that and didn't take too much, because I knew that my body can't handle it. And the same with other people. We're not invincible, and I knew that I had to be careful. But when you first get sober, once you've been clean for a while, you feel safe and you feel like, oh, well, I'm clean, I'm bored now, I'm done now, I'm fixed, so I don't have to think about this anymore or put any systems in place to not do drugs because I'm not doing them. But that is always when I end up relapsing, and I'm just by personal experience, I'm not professional or anything, but I think that's when most people will start to relapse, because they let themselves feel safe. It's the same with smoking. When you quit smoking for a few months, but then you have one socially, and then you think, oh well, they're having one, I'll have one again, and then you end up having one every day, and then you're back on it, and before you know it, all your quit time has been for nothing. I don't want that to ever happen with drugs, so I am going to continue to drink sometimes, but I'm going to try my best not to drink on my medication, and I will never drink when I'm depressed or down. And whenever I do drink, no matter how many years it ends up me being clean, I will always remind myself to consciously think about what I'm drinking, how much I'm drinking, the fact that I'm going to stop in a few hours, the fact that I'm not letting myself get too messy or too drunk, because that is when I'll crave drugs. So I think as long as I respect the fact that drugs and drink are powerful substances that can control your body and take a hold of you, and that addiction is for life, I think that you're in periods of relapse or recovery, but you're never cured, it's always going to be something that you struggle with mentally, then I think I'll have a lot higher chance of staying clean and actually sticking this out. Thank you so much for everyone who's subscribed and watched my videos. You guys are amazing, and you give me so much motivation to keep recording, because I know I'm a very, very small channel, and sometimes I feel like, is there any point in me putting these videos out, because I'm exposing a lot of myself and my life, and I don't want to cause that to hurt anybody else, like my family or anybody, but at the same time, it all needs to be said, and I want to make other addicts in recovery or people with mental health suffering know that you're not the only one, and all these weird different symptoms or atypical side of addiction. I know there's other people who can hold down jobs and responsibilities, work and family commitments, who still suffer with addiction, even heroin. I know there's lots of people out there who can relate, and I don't want you to feel alone, because you're not the only one, and I have heard of other people now that are like us. So hopefully these videos end up helping somebody, and if you're not doing drugs, I hope it's informative, and I hope it's given you a different perspective on heroin addicts, because we're not all messy homeless thieves who steal for their addiction and would beat up their own grandma for 50 quid for a hit. We're not all like that. I hope this changes society's perception, even just a small bit. I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope your year's going amazing. If there's anything you want to do that you've struggled with, that you've wanted to do for a few years and haven't, try and look at what went wrong, what made it go wrong, what did you do or didn't you do that affected the outcome. So for me, my business would be, I didn't actually set goals. I just said, oh, when I'm better, I'm going to do this, and then didn't do it. Whereas now I'm going to set monthly, weekly and yearly targets of, I need to do this and have this much done by this day. And as long as I stick to that, it should be attainable, and I should make unattainable goals that are massive actually become small achievable tasks that I can get done in a matter of days. Good luck to anybody trying to quit or trying to get better at anything you're struggling with. Remember, you can still do it on your own, don't be frightened of that, but always ask for help, because it's a lot easier with people around you. Thank you so much for checking out my channel and being a massive part of my recovery journey. I love you all. Hello, please excuse the background. I'm at the hospital again. I've been feeling super sick and throwing up and diarrhea, so that's been lovely. I'm in the toilet at the moment, in the bathroom, so I have to be quiet here, but I'm hoping they can help me and hopefully give me something so that I'm not so sick. I went out with friends the other day. It's day 36 now. I went out with some friends, had a bit of alcohol, and felt like I was going to faint because I hadn't eaten all day, so I fainted. And then it happened again. So I fainted twice. I needed to eat something to stop me fainting again, but I didn't have any forceps shakes with me and there was nothing I could eat. So I ate some chips, fries, really greasy fries, and not even 30 minutes later, I started throwing up. TMI, toilet problems. After eating the chips, I had the worst watery, explosive problems coming out both ends. It was horrible. It hurt so much. I didn't want to feel that again. So I made myself throw up to empty my stomach to make sure there was nothing left that could possibly come out the other end because it was hurting so much. But I'd forgotten how to purge because it's been so long since I've done that forcefully. So when I stuck my fingers down my throat, I pushed a bit too far and I've actually grazed the back of my throat, which is now really inflamed, and that's why my voice is a bit croaky. I just got a call from my friend who's also here. Apparently the nurse is waiting for me, so I'm going to go and be seen. I will check in a little bit. Hi guys, it's now day 37. I'm still in the hospital. It's 6 in the morning. I'm just waiting for the results of my blood test and ECG to come back. They said to keep these on because I'm going to have more tests. I didn't take any painkillers, but I've had my tramadol today and they haven't accused me of being a drug addict, so that's good because they're always a bunch of wankers at the fucking hospital. I hate going, they're always shit and just accuse me of being a drug addict trying to blag pain meds when really I'm just in so much pain and agony that I just need something to take the physical pain away, and no one's managing my health conditions. No one's given me any pain meds for it, so it's been really hard and I now have to fast again. I'm going to have to not eat for a couple of weeks, at least a week, before I can start taking my shakes again. But I'm going to do it, I have to, I can't be this ill forever. I got here at 3 a.m. and it's 6 a.m. now. I'm going to try and stay up all day because I have the in-person Narcotics Anonymous meeting today and I want to collect my 30-day chip, and I also just want to go to an in-person meeting face to face so I can see real people and not just be online, and hopefully have a better meeting this time because last time I was just so anxious, I just cried the whole way through. I think this time will be much better and I feel a lot more comfortable with the people there. I know how it's going to be, how the meeting's going to go, what's going to be said, what kind of people are there and what they're like, who I can trust, who I can't, all that stuff. And I feel safe and comfortable there despite not being able to trust anyone because of my issues. I have a friend who's also in A&E at the moment, so he's been hanging out with me and I feel okay. I feel really sick, but I haven't been sick since I've been here and they gave me some tablets to stop me vomiting, so I'm gonna have those again now. It's about time to redose and I will check back in when I get home. I'm still in the hospital and these fucking wankers have been lying to me for 3 whole hours, just blagging, yeah, we'll get your pain meds, we'll be there in a minute, and then they just fuck off and then they get another nurse, oh yeah, they're just coming, we'll get your pain meds, la la la, and lie and say they're gonna get my pain meds and then they don't. And they just treat me like a fucking drug addict, which is bullshit because I'm not. I used heroin for fucking physical pain and I was fine, and like this is how sick I am when I'm sober. It's just bullshit. And they've said I can't even have IV fluids because my kidneys aren't failing yet, basically. So they know I'm dehydrated by not being able to eat and throwing up, but they're gonna wait until my kidneys start failing until they can give me IV fluids, rather than just giving me them now and saving the hassle. On a positive note, it is day 37 of my recovery journey as a functional heroin addict. It's a Friday and I have the meeting that's in person, which I'm going to go to. I apologise for my voice being croaky. My nose is stuffy because I've been crying a lot. I was literally like this close to getting my fucking knife out of my bag. It's a dagger for my pagan ritual stuff, self-healing and stuff, and I was this close to getting it out and just fucking slashing my arms up and being like, look, now am I in enough pain? Can you see it now? Can you see this? So I'd have an illness that they can see. They've agreed that it is gastroenteritis, but they're not gonna fucking help me, so fuck them. I fucking hate this hospital. I'm never going again. I'm never going to any hospital again. They're absolute wankers and they know that I'm ill now. Like, I've been doing the right thing by going to a hospital
every time I'm in loads of pain, and it just makes me feel so shit about myself because they just treat me like it's all in my head, like I'm just a drug addict trying to get fucking pain meds. They don't even know that I did heroin, like they don't even know about my drug addiction, and they treat everyone like addicts. And like checking your arms before you go outside for a cigarette to make sure you don't have one of those fucking IV things in. Like, fuck off. It's just absolute bullshit. And I'm nearly 6 foot tall. Like, I'm 5'11" with bare feet. So I'm 6 foot tall and heavy, right? And they give me the same amount of morphine as they would give someone who's 5 foot tall and weighs 4 stone. It's bullshit. Absolute bullshit. It just makes me feel so shit about myself, and I question whether I am ill or whether it is just in my head, because every time I go for any test, everything's fucking normal. This is not fucking normal. Everything comes back normal. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna go to this meeting today in person. It's day 37. I'm gonna go get my 30-day key ring, and I'm not gonna eat. I'm fucking fasting it again. Whoop whoop. I'm fucking starving, but I'm not gonna eat, and I'm gonna fast until this is better. And if I don't get better, then the fasting will eventually become starving, and I'll be skinny enough to go on fucking tube feed or TPN that will not affect my digestive system. So it will work either way, and I will get better. Love and prayers to you all. Thank you so much for watching and being part of my recovery journey. This was day 37.
Hello, thank you so much for watching. Just a really quick check-in to let you know I'm safe and back from the hospital. It's now day 38. I slept all the way through as soon as I got back until 10 p.m. as I didn't get out until about 11 in the morning. My friend stayed with me. He blagged that he was my carer because you're not allowed people in with you, so luckily he was good at lying. It actually came in handy because he stayed with me the whole time, and I'm really happy about that. They asked if he was from the social. He managed to convince the nurses that he was a social worker and that he was staying with me for that reason. So that was amazing, and I'm so thankful to have such a good friend. My parents are quite concerned at the fact that the doctors are aware that I'm not eating, and that they've sent me home and told me to just carry on not eating for a few more weeks and then come back when my kidneys are failing and then they can do something. But it's just bullshit, and my parents just cannot believe that an actual doctor has said to me to not eat for a month, that is fine, and just have fucking Lucozade, have sports drinks, and that's just bullshit. And this is why I don't involve my parents as well, because they're so upset about it, and it's not their fault, and I'm not mad at them, and they're not mad at me, but they're just really frustrated and upset. And I cried so much in there, and one of the doctors asked me, like, she was asking me my symptoms, and one of them, she said, "Are you hungry?" And I said, "I'm fucking starving." When she asked if I was hungry, and I said I was starving, and it just hurt so much mentally. And then my friend who was with me looked like he was gonna cry, but he was fighting back tears for me. It's just bullshit. I'm fucking starving, but if I eat, it's gonna make me so sick. And I told her that I chew and spit. I told her that I chew and spit binge at least for 1 hour every day, unless I'm fasting properly. But I've got to fast properly now because there's no way that my stomach can deal with it. I chewed and spat just now, and I even spat out all of the saliva that was caused by chewing food, and my stomach still fucking hurt. It still gave me diarrhea, so can't eat anything. I'm gonna have to properly fast. No black coffee, no energy drinks. And I have to boil all my drinking water. I have to boil it and then wait till it cools down and drink that. And that's all I can eat. Sterilised water. Just bullshit. And they know that. And they've said, yeah, 3-4 weeks, then come back. Oh, you've been here quite a lot, haven't you? They said. I'm like, yeah, I've been coming in for 4 times now in the last month. Because of the same problem that they're not fucking fixing, and it's just bullshit. They don't even deal with the symptoms, they just manage the pain that's caused by not being able to eat, which is bullshit. Why don't they fucking tube me? Give me a fucking TPN or something, like a peg tube that would go straight into my intestines or bypass my digestive system completely, like total parental nutrition that goes through an IV in your vein, and all of the nutrients are supplied directly to your blood and heart. When my parents asked me when can that happen, why can't they do that now, I said, well, because I'm not underweight yet. My dad was like, what, they need to wait until you're underweight? Like, are you serious? You know, I've lost 45 kilos now, over 6.5 stone, from not being able to eat. And they're saying that I need to lose another 2 stone, basically. They didn't physically say it, they implied it, that I needed to lose another 2 stone to be underweight until my BMI is less than 18, which is just bullshit. And even then, I don't think they tube people until their BMI is less than 15, because I've been to the doctors for anorexia before and they said my weight wasn't low enough. They only tube feed people when their BMI is less than 15, which is about, I don't know, 7 stone for me, about 45, 50 kilos. And I'm 68 now, so they're saying that I need to lose another 10 to 15 kilos. Like, I can already get my hand like that around my wrist, and my belly, I can see all my ribs, my backbones, my spine and my back ribs if I bend in certain positions. When I'm bending over, everyone can see all the ribs in my back. And I'm really paranoid and conscious about my collarbones at the moment because they just hang out, they just protrude. And I used to be happy about that. I used to think, oh, I'd love to have my bones out, you know, as everyone with an eating disorder does. But when it's because I can't eat, I know it's just upsetting and worrying my family. There's nothing I can do about it, and the people who are supposed to help me aren't fucking helping. They just push me around to other different doctors. No one knows what they're doing and no one does anything. The doctor asked if I'd seen the consultant gastroenterologist, the NHS one, and I said yeah, and he found it was functional problems, which means it's not how it looks, it's how it's working or not working. And he discharged me. No medication, no follow-up, no treatment. He just says, oh, well, it's functional, see you later. It's not cancer, so see you later. Fucking prick. My parents think that too, and I just feel so bad for putting my family through all this worry. I missed the Narcotics Anonymous meeting today. I fell asleep in one of them this morning when I got home about midday, and I'd been up all night, the entire night, so I fell asleep. And I would have been up for about 36 hours, Jesus. I fell asleep and then I slept through till 10 p.m, so I'm going to take sleeping pills tonight. My mum, who was going to give me a lift to the meeting, she said she came in the room I was sleeping in, the spare bedroom, and I was just passed out and she didn't want to wake me because she said she knew I needed it, because I don't sleep very often. I don't sleep, and when I'm fasting, my sleep used to be every other day, so I'd stay up completely for one whole night and then the next day I'd sleep fine. But recently when I fast, I even can't sleep for 2 nights. And I know the idea of, if your sleeping pattern's fucked, stay up, get up really early and stay up for a whole day no matter how much or little you've slept, and then you'll sleep at night. But if I do that, I still can't sleep that night. So if I do say to myself, well, I'm going to get up at 8 o'clock, even if I don't sleep till 6, I would just end up being awake the whole next night and the next night for like 3, 4, 5 nights before I'll sleep. And it's just horrible. Like, how can they put me through this? How can they not help me? How can they not see that I'm ill? And by saying, well, you're not ill enough, basically, to be in hospital, it's just making me feel like, is it all in my head? Am I crazy? Is this in my head? And the nurse, I felt quite bad. She was trying to sympathise with me. She was trying to empathise with me. Lovely, lovely lady. She was trying to sympathise with me, and she sounded like she'd been in England a long time, but her English wasn't her first language. So I think she spoke it out slightly mixed up, so I thought she was saying, there's nothing wrong with you, but she was trying to say, it's not that we think nothing's wrong with you. It's that there's only so much we can do here, and I'm sorry that you're going through this. I heard as, there's nothing we can do because you're not ill. So I was like, I am fucking ill. And she's like, no, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you're not ill. I'm not saying it's all in your head. That's what I'm saying. And when she sort of rephrased it, I was able to understand that she was just empathising with me, but I felt so bad. I did a random good deed and made my friend do one whilst we were at the hospital. There was a sort of disabled older man, not old, but he was like 50, and he obviously had special needs, and they'd got him there in an ambulance. He had all sorts of health problems, you could even see it, like his legs were fucked, his back was fucked, he's had heart attacks, diabetes, everything. And they got him an ambulance there, and then they wouldn't get him home, and it's like £45 in a taxi to get to where he lives. And I sort of went, I was like, are you serious? Like, to the nurses, I went round and said, what the fuck? Like, he's going to end up freezing and dying somewhere or being picked up by the police. He didn't have any coat with him, jackets, he was in a t-shirt and like trackies, but just like a vest t-shirt. No phone, no money, no bank card, but he said he had money at home that he would have paid the taxi, but they wouldn't take him like that. So me and my friend did £20 each, which is quite a lot when you only live off £500-600 a month. So we did £20 each to pay for the taxi. We were like, will you do it for 40, please? We need to get this man home, and explain the situation. And he was like hugging me, like crying, because he'd been so worried about not getting home. And I said to him, like, don't worry, we will get you home. It's going to be okay. We're going to get you home, all right? I promise I will not leave you until you're home.
and if I have to come with you to get you home, I will, because he was really scared about going on the bus by himself. He would have got lost. He can't be with that many people. But we'd been talking to him for quite a few hours, and he'd been sitting with us. He'd offered us tea and coffee. We'd given him cigarettes. And he was really kind and nice, and I just felt so disappointed at the medical staff that they couldn't get him home, even though he was clearly a vulnerable adult and a person in need. So we got him home. It was £20 each. My friend was a bit annoyed that I made him pay £20. I was like, come on, it's only 20 quid each. It's not 40 quid, it's 20 each if we split it. But everybody in the waiting room heard what was going on, and they all just looked away. Some of them were laughing, like, fucking how dare they, like, laughing at the situation, and or at the fact that me and my friend were sort of the ones trying to fix the situation. And if everyone in the waiting room had chipped in £2 each, we would have all got him home. There were so many people in there. But fuck them. I'm glad we got that man home. I don't care if I can't buy any more sort of luxuries for the rest of the week, or nothing, no money till payday. I'm glad I got him home. I'm going to try and do more videos from tomorrow. I'm going to have to go now, but it's day 38. It's day 38. I'm going to try and do more videos from now on. I know I always say that, but I hope everyone's doing really good. Love and prayers to you all. I'm sorry this has been so much about my physical health. I'm going to get it back to being about addiction and how to recover from that. But I wish everybody safe, healthy and happy day, new year. I hope you're all having a lovely year, and I will check in tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe for more. Mwah.
Hello, it's day 39. Welcome back to my channel. I can't believe it's nearly day 40, so I'm really excited about that. My stomach's been really bad still, but I managed to stick to my fast, and it's almost been 3 days now. I am feeling very lightheaded and weak because of that, and quite cold, and I feel like my bones are protruding quite a bit more, and it's worrying my family, I guess. My mum's helping me with getting the doctors to do something about my stomach, because no one's helping me, no one's giving a shit, and I've got about maybe 2 months left of starving and them not helping me before I'll end up getting tube feed or just starving to death. Like, how long can someone go without fucking eating? And they've sent me home to starve. They said, well, if you still can't eat in a month, then come back. And they said that last month. So it'd be 2 months of not eating. And I just feel like I'm being really let down by them. And also I feel like if I was still on heroin, I wouldn't be this sick. No way. The reason I am this sick is because I'm not on heroin, and not from withdrawal, but because heroin was an amazing painkiller for me, and it relaxed my nervous system enough that my intestines worked. So I could eat, and because I was eating, I could sleep. And because I was eating and sleeping, I could exercise and go out for walks. So it's really frustrating that there is such a stigma attached to heroin, because if it was legalised, I wouldn't be this sick, I wouldn't be stuck in bed all day, and my family wouldn't be worrying about me so much. I've decided I'm going to save up to get private healthcare. It's going to cost about £5,000, say, what, $7,000? And that's just for some consultations and a few tests. That's not even for the treatment, that's not even for the treatment, that's just for the MRI scan, nerve function test of my stomach and intestines, and the follow-up consultations, and that's going to come to about £5,000. So I've started saving. I've got about £200 saved, that's all, but I'm going to save this month and next month and just the next 6 months. I'm going to only buy the absolute essentials. I have one big bill left to come out of about £180 for water. But after that, it's just direct debits, gas, electric, and food for guests that come around my house because I don't eat. So that should be under £300. I can live off £300 a month. That should be it. I've actually been working on my business idea. It's really coming together. I've been spending 2 hours a day doing the admin side of it. And I did that every day until I went to hospital, and more days in bed, and I think I'll be well enough to continue working on it. And I'm trying not to feel guilty for not working on it whilst I've been this ill the last few days, because I've got to remember it's not my fault and I am really sick. I'm very worried about ending up on tube feed. I don't want to, and with temporary tube feeds it will be one that goes into my nose, and it won't fix the problem because it's still something going into my stomach which my body can't handle. But TPN, total parental nutrition, is really a last resort, and I doubt they'd even put me on it, and you have to have a BMI of like under 15 to get on that, and a BMI of 18.5 is underweight, so they're just going to let me starve. I'm still classed as right in the middle of a healthy weight now, and I've lost 45 kilos I guess now, as I weighed myself this morning and I was 10 stone 10, which is 68 kilos or 150 pounds. So they're going to let me starve until I'm around 100 pounds I think, which is crazy because I'm 5'11". But with the fasting I lose about a pound a day, so hopefully it won't take too long and they can help me. But with my stomach being this bad, I feel like 2 months is 30 days times 2, 60 days, that's 60 pounds in weight, or say 50, round it down because I don't really exercise because of my mobility issues. I really only have 2 months to find a doctor that can treat me before I starve to death. It's crazy, and I feel really bad for worrying my family with this. There's not a lot anyone can do to help me, and I feel like I'm the only person with this disorder, with functional bowel disorder, that is as bad as mine is. I don't know anybody that ends up on tube feed for fucking IBS, which is effectively what this is. And everyone else I know with IBS is able to work and function normally, and I can't, and I'm not contributing to society in any way right now, and I know I could if I wasn't sick. There's so many things that I could do, that I'd want to do, that I would work my arse off for. But anyway, that's for another day. I'm rambling a little bit. It's day 39. I hope everyone's doing well. I've continued going on to the Narcotics Anonymous meetings, but I try not to go on and random different ones all the time with people that I don't know. I much prefer now to go on the same one at the same time most days, where I see the same people over and over again and actually start building up trust and a friendship with most of them. So that's been really cool. I've met some... Sorry, my stomach's making noises. I've met some really cool people on there. If I put pressure on my stomach, it hurts less. I'm gonna go now because I don't feel very well. But I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Love and prayers to you all, and I will catch up in a little bit. Hello, it's day 40! Motherfucking hell! Hello, it's day 40. I can't believe I made it to here. Thank you so much for watching and being part of my recovery journey. I really couldn't have done it without you guys watching or having to do these videos, because I wouldn't have had anyone to answer to, and I didn't believe myself that I could have got this far. I still kind of don't believe it now, and I haven't really planned for here onwards, so it's going to be a fun few videos after this, I think. The hardest bit is over. Now life starts, hopefully. Thank you so much for watching. If I've kept you interested this long, then thank you so much for watching my videos. And if you've just skipped to the end to see what happens, snap, I do that too. If you're quitting or on any kind of sobriety journey too, I wish you at the happiest, healthiest, longest sobriety ever. You can do it. Believe in yourself, because I do. Whoever you are, however long your recovery journey is, or if it's not even started yet, you can do this. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe.